This is a horizontal tangent line problem. I have a function f of x equals to x divided by x squared plus 4. So this function, the graph is some curve, right? I don't care what the graph looks like. What I am trying to find out is we have a curve. I want you to tell me at what point on the curve there is a horizontal tangent line. So this curve going up and down, right? So at one point or more than one point on the curve, at that point, the tangent line is horizontal. Can you tell me the location of this point? That's what we are trying to find out. So since for horizontal tangent line, so tangent means for tangent line we need a slope. So horizontal, what is a horizontal line looks like? Horizontal line is just one flat line. Horizontal, the slope is equals to 0. So since we need the slope, that means we have to take derivative of the function using quotient rule. F prime of x, that is equals to, so the quotient rule, I gave you the quotient rule, so this is gf prime minus fg prime divided by g squared. As always, we square the denominator first, and then g, so that is x squared plus 4, and then we take the derivative of the top, minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. All right, so the next step is f prime of x, we take the derivative, very simple. So we have x squared plus 4, and then the derivative of x is equals to 1 minus x, the derivative of x squared is 2x, the derivative of 4 is equals to 0. So now the derivative is done. So when you look for slope, do you need to, so let's say I give you an x value to find the slope, do you need to simplify the function? The answer is not necessary, but in a horizontal tangent line problem, so slope equals to 0. Where is our slope? We have that right over here. So f prime of x, the entire function helps you to find the slope. But I just said that slope is equals to 0. That means you have to set the entire f prime function equals to 0. So before we set that equals to 0 and solve for x, we better simplify the numerator. All right, so we have f prime of x, that is equals to x squared plus 4, and then minus 2x squared, right? And then we have the whole thing divided by x squared plus 4 squared. All right, there is only one thing to simplify, so we have 1 minus 2, so that is equals to negative 1. So how about this? I will just do the simplification right here, so we don't need to open another line. So that is equals to negative x squared plus 4. What is horizontal tangent line? Can you look to your right? The slope is equals to 0. Where is the slope? The slope is f prime, because the entire f prime function describes the slope of the given function. So again, the given function f of x can be represented by a curve going up and down, I don't really care. Now, can you give me one function to describe the slope? Yes, that function is f prime of x. Now you want the slope equals to 0, so you have to set this equals to 0. Actually, that belongs to the next step, so I will just do the color matching. I will just set this equals to 0, and we are trying to solve for x. Now, how do we solve for x? So we have a numerator divided by denominator equals to 0. So think about this. One number divided by another number equals to 0. So, okay, let's just write this down. So we have a divided by b equals to 0. So what can you say about this? Can b equals to 0? Absolutely not. So that means a has to be equals to 0, right? So a has to be equals to 0. So therefore, you set that equals to 0, you have to let the numerator equals to 0, right? So you have to do negative x squared plus 4. You have to let that equals to 0, and then you solve for x. So you have negative x squared equals to negative 4. So you have x squared equals to 4. And then once you take the square root on both sides, you do not forget the plus or minus. So we have x equals to plus or minus 2. What does that mean? That means you have a curve. When x is equals to 2, there is a horizontal line. When x is equals to negative 2, there is another horizontal tangent line. So there are two. Right? So let's find out. Now, so when x is equals to 2 and x is equals to negative 2. So when x is equals to 2, what is the corresponding y value? You have to give me a point, right? So at that location, there is a horizontal line. So that location, you only have an x coordinate. I need to know the y coordinate as well. Can you give me that? So since you are looking for a location, you have to plug in x equals to 2 to the given function, not f prime. If you plug in x equals to 2 or x equals to whatever to f prime, the result is a slope. F prime gives you slope. F gives you a location. Again, f prime gives you the slope of a point. F gives you the location of a point. So that is equals to 2 divided by 2 squared plus 4. So that is equals to 2 divided by 4 plus 4 is 8. So that is equals to 1 over 4. So the first point is 2, 1 over 4. At 2, 1/4, the slope is equals to 0. There is a horizontal tangent line at 2, 1/4. And then also when x is equals to -2, you have a -2 divided by -2 squared plus 4. So you have a -2 divided by 8, right? 4 plus 4 is equals to 8. So you have a -1 over 4. That means the other point is 2, -1 over 4. The slope is equals to 0. So since that is our final answer, let me just box that in another color. So this is the first point, and then this is the second point. Now let's do one more thing. What is the equation of the tangent line? So that is y equals to some value, right? So there are two horizontal tangent line. Tangent line, two horizontal tangent lines, one at y equals to past 1 over 4, one at y equals to -1 over 4. So one horizontal line, the slope is equals to 0. Alright, so that is the end of this problem and this video. If you think my instruction is clear and helpful and easy, give me a like, share the video for me, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I will meet you all in the next lesson. Signing out.